In part 2, we'll look at the how we can visualize the loading progress and track down any missing items from the load. We can manage our resources so we get a more transparent view on how our resources are being used to avoid any costly errors. And we can identify where efficiencies can be made for cost savings by combining deliveries to the same location. So I'll jump back into EPM Go, and I'm just going to turn off the add load panel there for a while. And I want to just talk a little bit about how we can kind of drill down a little bit deeper into these loads. So we can see here that load 15 is overdue. It was supposed to be shipped yesterday and it hasn't been. If I click on the load there, I can see some basic information about it, and I can see there that we've currently loaded about 22.7 tons of 23, and that's reflected by the 99%. So that relates to the percentage of the weight of assembly that's been loaded. To dig down a little bit deeper, if I click on the three dots there, I can either use the load details screen or the edit screen to access the same information. But if I use the load details screen, you can see this will show a list of all the assemblies that are assigned to that load. And using the icon on the left hand side, you can see the current load status. So assembly mark 15002, we've currently loaded 0 of 1, and 15003, we've loaded 4 of a total 7 quantity. If I click on the status icon over on the right hand side, that's going to now show me the fabrication or the production status for that particular assembly. So I can see of the 3 that are not currently loaded, 1 is still waiting to be inspected, and all 3 of them still need to be painted. So that gives me an insight of who I need to go and speak to ensure these assemblies are expedited, to ensure this load isn't held up any longer than it needs to be. Obviously, at a point where they're completed in fabrication and ready to be shipped, then you could change this load status to be shipped as well. In similar fashion, I can use that to make better decisions. So if I look at this particular load here that's due to go out today, it's 53% complete. Again, I could go into the load details and see kind of what was still waiting to be loaded. But if ultimately you need to make the decision to reschedule that, then it's simply using the drag and drop to pick that up and put it into tomorrow, for argument's sake, and that will update the planned ship date of that load to obviously its new date. Which leads me nicely into some of the resource planning. At the moment, well, up until now, we've always looked at the color coding by status. But if I was to change my color by to trailer, for argument's sake, we will now see, as a result of me moving that load number 1 on J2100, it's now created a clash in trailers. Tekla PowerFab 2 was already scheduled to be used tomorrow for a different load on a different job, and now it's created a clash. So what that has enabled me to see is that I need to assign another trailer, and on the grounds that that one's partially loaded already, it makes sense to update the trailer of this load here. Again, using the 3 dots on the right hand side, I can now use the edit option, and there are multiple properties I can update, but one of which is the trailer, and I think PowerFab or Power 1, sorry, was still available, so I'll select that one. Click update details, and you can see now that load 203 has been updated to PowerFab 1, Power 1, and as such there's no longer a clash of resources on that particular day. And finally, just to show you again using the color by status, how we can perhaps use the visualizations to identify where efficiencies can be gained in our transportation. So I'm going to go down and choose destination, and I'm going to point at this particular load here where I can see I've got a load going to my galvanizer on Friday, and currently I've only got a partial trailer. I've only using 7.5 tons there. So what I may do is I may go to the add loads panel, and I can see straight away using the color coding there that I've already got a load that needs to be scheduled to the galvanizer. It can be easier to find those by using my destination filter as well, and then I can just set that filter and only see the deliveries going to the particular galvanizer. And if I look at this, I can see that I've only actually got 2.5 tons worth of material on this load as well. So if production allows and we can get these items out in time, then it would make sense to combine these two loads and only have one trailer go into the galvanizers as opposed to two separate shipments. So again, using the drag and drop, I'm simply going to add this to that day there. I can see that this is already assigned to trailer power 3, so using the same features I showed earlier, using the edit tool, I can just come into here and change the trailer to power 3, update that, and now both of those loads, again, if I was to switch back to my trailer color by, I can see although both of those are allocated to the same trailer, I know that the capacities of both are going to fit.